Hello, welcome. It's number 5. This is number 5, Writing with Dev online, at home, you and me. We're good. Let's rock. Okay, so far up to this point, we've learned a heap of stuff, like one of the myths about writing is that it's fun, writing's not fun, it sucks, it's like digging ditches. 3 things that writers all struggle with are procrastination, thinking your work is shit, and worrying about what other people think. Never underestimate just getting shit done. The points that we're most likely to want to give up are at mi, fa, and la, ti. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. 30% in and 70% in. What else have we learned? That sometimes after sitting with your work for a while, it seems a bit shit. And it's because you've got cook's mouth and because you've lost that new relationship energy and you've got to push the fuck on. You've got to focus not on how good you think it is, but how good you think you are for prioritizing small, doable chunks of time. Okay, so let's get cranking, and we're going to do the very first exercise that we did in the course again, which is 5 minutes non-stop writing. So you don't have to write fast, but you do have to keep going. So what I want you to do is to think of something that you can write when your brain stops giving you ideas to write down. So I'm going to say time starts now. You don't have to write fast, but you do have to keep going and don't let your hand stop moving. Don't care if you're doing this or even on your phone. Just stay off the fucking internet and write. Stay with me. That's why you have come. You have come here because you want to write. Let's do this, okay? There's a great saying, sometimes the best way to solve a problem is to stop participating. Sometimes the best way to solve a problem is to stop participating in it, okay? Sometimes the best way to solve a problem is to stop participating in it. So get out of your own fucking way, turn everything off, and just sit with me and let's do this. So 5 minutes non-stop writing. So in your head, think of a little thing that you can write for when you could start going, I'll say, and go, oh my God, the neighbour shits me, my hair is terrible, why are there too many plants in this mise en scene with Dev's writing thing, whatever it is. I don't care if you write for 5 minutes. I hate writing. I just want your hand to keep moving and for you to keep churning it out and write like your family are dead, write like no one's going to read it, write like it's going to burst into flames as soon as you finish it. Don't put any energy into this at all, just stream of consciousness. You're getting the peel off the potato. We're going to do that for 5 minutes. I'm going to time you and we're going to start now. 5 minutes non-stop writing, go. 2 minutes left. Oh. One minute left. Done. Great. Fantastic. Well done. Okay. Now, another letter. We've got a letter from Miriam. And Miriam sent me an email and said, I just completed the 3rd class. I wrote some things and it felt good. I wrote my thoughts about me, but I kept spiraling back to, how does this help? How does writing about myself help anything? How is it anything but self-indulgent? How do I move from writing personal thoughts just for me to something that feels worthy of being read by others? Surely the purpose of writing is to be read, but I find my thoughts seem only personal and I don't know how to give them the worth of being read. Okay, so the worth of being read. Very good point there. Do you want to write or do you want to be read? They're two entirely different things. You don't need to be read to be a writer. You just need to write. And the reason that we write is just for ourselves, because it makes our hearts grow. It makes our souls bigger. It makes us feel lighter and more connected and understand things more deeply. Writing is, yes, being read is one thing, but I think you need to dislocate it from writing. You need to separate, uncouple, consciously uncouple, like Gwyneth Paltrow would, the idea of being read and writing. Miriam's written, I just kept spiraling back to, how does this help? If it makes you feel better, it helps. If you want to be a better writer and a good writer, writing helps. Okay, so if just to keep writing helps. So that is how it helps. To write about anything makes you a better writer. Writing's a muscle. The more you do, the stronger it gets and the better you will be at it. But there was this, writing about myself, how is it anything but self-indulgent? Fuck that. Sorry, but writing about yourself, your voice and your stories are as relevant and as worthy as anything else. My favourite genre, or genre as Channel 9 would call it, or commercial television or radio, if you don't know what Channel 9 is, and if you don't know what Channel 9 is, lucky fucking you. Memoir, my favourite genre is memoir. I'm sure that you have read other people's stories, Miriam. What makes you think that them writing about their personal stories isn't self-indulgent, but you writing about yours is? So you bring up the idea of being read by other people, and how do I move away from something personal to something that feels worthy of being read by others? Now, so we've separated that. Doesn't matter if anybody else reads it. Write because it makes you feel good and makes you feel better. And don't worry about what other people think, because what are you writing for? It's that thing about external validation which just trips us over. There's a quote that goes something like, if you're flattered by a man's words, it's an old quote, if you're flattered by people's words, you'll die by their criticism. You just have to write for you. And the more you write, the more you hear your voice and the more your instinct will kick in and it will become what you want it to be. But if you want to move away from writing in a first-person memoir genre to something else, this next exercise is exactly what you would need to do. Okay, so I'm going to read out a whole bunch of forms and genres, or genres for the commercial television watchers and tabloid newspaper readers. I'm going to read out a bunch of them, right? I want you to listen to your body, and any of the genres or forms that you really love or really hate, I want you to make a note of. So if you want to now, on your notepad or on your document, I want you to write love, hate, 2 different lines. And just as I read these, just quickly jot down ones that you really love and you really hate. Are you ready? Okay. Poem, column, review, list, sitcom, prayer, screenplay, science fiction, novel, speech, memoir, stand-up comedy, erotica, drama, Facebook status, Dummy's Guide to, housekeeping, science fiction, code of conduct, group email from a crazy person, crime writing, instructions, fairy tale, horror, love story, anecdote, fantasy, letter, joke, children's story, manual, 10 Commandments, pitch, news report, horror, press release, opinion, limerick, fable, frequently asked questions, rant, memo, eulogy, academia. Okay. So you've written all those down. I'm not going to go back through them. You can rewind this if you want to hear them all again. So you've probably got a handful in the love and the hate genres. Okay, you ready? I want you now to pare those down to one that you really love and one that you really hate. Okay? Just put a line through the ones that you don't hate as much as one you really hate, and put a line through the ones that you don't love as much as the one that you really love, okay? All right, so when you've got one you love and one you hate, what's going to happen is that you're going to write for 10 minutes in each genre, okay? I don't care if you choose the love genre or form first or the hate genre or form first, but I think I know what you're going to choose first, and I'm going to time you, and you're going to write for 10 minutes in each genre, okay? So pare them down to one you love and one you hate, and you are going to start right now. 10 minutes. Start. Go. I'm doing it too. 2 minutes left. One minute left. Okay, stop. Well done. What do you make of that? Bit kind of unsettling. Whether you chose the one that you loved the most or the one you hated the most, it'll still be unsettling. All right, so take a break if you need to. Pause it, grab a cup of tea or a drink, and or check your emails. And well, actually, I prefer that you stayed off the internet, to be honest. It's only 10 more minutes. So we're going to start the 10 minutes for the other one. So if you did the one you loved, you now have to do the one you hated. And if you did the one you hated, you now have to do the genre or form that you loved. And we're going to start now. 5 minutes. There we go. How clever are you? that like? The most common response that I get after doing that exercise in my Gunners writing masterclasses or in my retreats is that people enjoyed the genre or the form that they hated more than the one that they thought that they loved. And that's because of expectations. We have this expectation of, I love writing science fiction, or I love writing sketch comedy, or I love writing academia. And then you get there and you have these high expectations of wanting to enjoy it, and it doesn't really do it. It's very much like going to the party that you didn't think you were going to enjoy, and you dragged yourself there and you had a good time. Anyway, it reminded me, the letter from Miriam earlier in today's lesson, class, get together, whatever the fuck it is, jamboree, reminded me of a comment, a quote by Dorothy Parker, which is, I hate writing, but I love having written. Another one came to mind that I'd love to leave you with today. Lesson 5, class 5, get together 5, which is E.L. Doctorow says something like, you can only ever see as far as the headlights, but you can make the whole trip that way. Okay? All right, pull your finger out, get over yourself, your excuses are bullshit. I'll see you for lesson 6. Bye.